Nick Jonas is looking forward to working on White Elephant, his next project. He and Katherine Newton will co-star in the movie. Additionally, Nick updated his friends and followers on the horrible story on Instagram. "Let's acquire it. I'm very thrilled about this one," he wrote. Due to unforeseen inclement weather, rapper and singer Honey Singh has canceled his planned show in Pune. Honey posted on Instagram saying, "Fans, due to expected rain and thunderstorms, we have to reschedule the event to April 18th, 2026, even though it was fully booked for Saturday, April 4th, 2026. This choice was made in accordance with the government's recommendation. All tickets purchased will remain valid for the new date," he continued. "I'll see you in 2 weeks, Pune." Actor Chris Pratt revealed that a crucial set from Jurassic World was damaged as a result of violent storms that pummeled Hawaii, destroying a piece of Hollywood film history. Pratt revealed that a fallen tree had destroyed his character Owen Grady's cottage in the 2015 film. The actor claimed that a buddy who resides on the ranch where the building was located sent him a message informing him of the occurrence. A sneak peek at the upcoming Peaky Blinders sequel series starring Jamie Bell has been made public by streaming behemoth Netflix. He will play Duke Shelby, the son of Thomas Shelby, the original main character played by Cillian Murphy. Barry Keoghan previously portrayed Duke in the Netflix sequel Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man, which debuted last month. However, Bell will now play the mobster. A new reality show about competitive youth baseball families will be produced by Kim Kardashian. The show, called Team Moms, has been approved by Paramount Plus and will debut later this year. Team Moms will take viewers inside Scottsdale, Arizona's legendary Prep Academy, a rigorous baseball prep school for students in grades 6 through 12 that prepares them for Division I college scholarships, NIL contracts, and eventually MLB stardom. A question is always present when an artist enters a new media. Is this a side project or something more serious? Acting has never been a fallback for Nick Jonas. He has been pursuing this alternative hobby with increasing fervor. Additionally, he's making it apparent in his most recent movie, White Elephant, that this isn't just another part. Rather, it's a statement about his current state of creativity. Nick has discussed the significance of White Elephant to him in recent interviews and behind-the-scenes talks. It was more than simply a project. It was an experience that tested him in unexpected ways. The more he discusses it, the more obvious it is that this movie represents a significant turning point in his career. Entering a new type of narrative. Nick Jonas has never shied away from trying new things. He's developed a career that doesn't stick to one path, from Broadway shows and Hollywood movies to international pop stages. However, White Elephant has a different feeling. Nick claims that the storyline wasn't the only thing that drew him to the movie. It was the mood. He characterized the narrative as multi-layered, something in between, not just drama or action, a movie where characters have emotional weight, suspense develops gradually, and viewers must focus more on what isn't said than what is. What thrilled him was the subtlety. He said that everything is explained in a lot of popular flicks. Every emotion is evident, all of the motivations are explained. However, White Elephant allowed him to examine the more subdued moments, the stares, the pauses, and the stillness that conveys more than words ever could. And that's a unique opportunity for an actor. The problem of self-control. Among the most fascinating things, according to Nick, this movie required a lot of self-control. He clarified that amplifying emotion is frequently the goal of music, particularly live performances. You want the audience to experience something right away. However, acting operates differently, especially in a movie like White Elephant. In this situation, less is more. Nick discussed the importance of learning to retreat rather than advance, to have faith that a modest facial expression or a slight change in tone could have a greater impact than a major outburst.
It wasn't easy, he admitted, should avoid going into too much detail about a character's feelings, should delegate some of the task to the audience. But he claims that the procedure was what made the experience so fulfilling, because a scenario feels authentic when you finally get it right and don't have to say too much. A personality that remains. Nick has performed in many different parts over the years, but he says that his white elephant character stayed with him long after the movie was finished. He alluded to complexity in the character's arc, but did not go into great detail. Someone who is neither totally good nor totally bad. Someone molded by events, choices, and outcomes. Playing that kind of part takes more than just memorizing lines. It requires understanding the character's perspective. Nick revealed that he thought about this person's motivations for a while, what they are afraid of, what they regret, what they are trying to hold on to. And sometimes there are no obvious answers to those questions, but that's what gives the performance a human feeling. Collaborating with the crew and cast. Nick also highlighted the atmosphere on set. He said it was a collaborative experience, everyone working together to create a unified whole, not just actors doing their parts. He discussed how important it is to have support when taking artistic risks, when you're venturing outside of your comfort zone or trying something new. He claims that both the director and his fellow actors provided that support. Scenes changed as they were being filmed, where actors' interactions led to minor adjustments that made a big difference. And that's what makes filmmaking exciting, Nick opinioned. So you're not merely acting out a script, you are learning something in real time. Acting and music imbalance. Naturally, one issue that frequently arises is how Nick manages to juggle his acting and music careers. Trying to do both can feel like dividing attention for a lot of artists. However, Nick has a different perspective. They are complementary, he opined. He can directly express his feelings through music. It is immediate, intimate, and often based on his personal experiences. Conversely, acting allows him to enter the world of another person, to explore viewpoints beyond his own, and the contrast keeps things interesting. He said that working on White Elephant had a real impact on his perspective on musical narrative. He's beginning to incorporate the idea of subtlety and giving room for interpretation into his songs, so the two artistic mediums complement each other, not clash. The film's emotional core. Nick explained that White Elephant is fundamentally about people, despite the fact that it contains tension and drama, concerning relationships, about the choices we make and how they shape us. When talking about a movie, he talked about how easy it is to get sucked into the story, to focus on the events rather than the reasons behind them. But he believes that a story's emotional essence is what gives it resonance. Everything else falls into place if the audience can relate to the characters and recognize a part of themselves in the narrative. He wants the audience to learn it from White Elephant. It's a sensation, not just entertainment. Development as an artist. You learn something from every project. White Elephant was no different for Nick. He called it an educational experience, one that forced him to improve how he performed, to pay closer attention, to watch more, to have faith in the process. He also discussed the importance of continuing to change, to avoid becoming at ease, because repetition can result from comfort, and stagnation can result from repetition. This movie challenged him to break that pattern, and he cherishes that. Expectations and reality of fans. Nick acknowledges that not everyone will have the same expectations for the movie, even though he has a sizable fan base that mostly knows him from his songs. There may be some fans who are interested, some may be surprised, some may have no idea what to expect, but he doesn't mind. In fact, he embraces it because it allows others to see a different side of him, as an actor narrating a story, not just as a performer on stage. And he views it as a success if even a small percentage of the audience leaves with a new perspective on him. Why White Elephant is important right now. A movie's reception is influenced by its timing, and Nick says White Elephant comes at a time when viewers are looking for something a little more profound, stories that endure, not just fast-paced entertainment, stories that provoke thought. This movie, in his opinion, falls within that category. It doesn't move fast, it doesn't try to overwhelm, rather it draws the audience in and allows the story to develop organically. And that kind of storytelling is special in a world where things happen fast. Looking ahead. Nick did not provide specific information when asked about what might happen next, but he hinted that he wanted to keep exploring meaningful acting. He chooses challenging tasks rather than just accepting positions to gain attention. That encourages him to grow. That allows him to share meaningful stories. But music continues to be a fundamental part of his identity, so the future will likely involve balancing both. And if White Elephant is any guide, that balance will only get stronger. Ultimately, what really stands out about Nick's comments isn't just about the movie itself. It's about his attitude, his eagerness to learn, his ability to adapt, his commitment to authenticity. While White Elephant